Have you ever considered that the world you perceive might just be the tip of an iceberg? That beneath the surface, there's this entire universe of covert operations, hidden agendas, and silent wars playing out, where, information is the ultimate weapon. Today on the deep dive, we're plunging into just such a realm. We've got this fascinating stack of source material, a narrative called Nexus, the Silent War. And our mission really is to peel back its layers. We want to reveal the intricate mechanics of how this hidden world truly functions.
That's right. Our goal with this deep dive is to offer you a shortcut, not just to understand what happens in Nexus, but how and why it happens. We'll try and extract those critical nuggets of insight, helping you grasp the complex interplay of power, deception, and motivation without getting, well, bogged down in every single plot detail. It's about giving you those aha moments that really illuminate this shadow world.
Exactly. So for this deep dive, the core question we're exploring is, how does the world of Nexus, the Silent War, actually operate? To really get a handle on its intricate machinery, I think we first have to meet the players, right? The engineers, the soldiers, the strategists. Who are the factions pulling the strings in the Silent War, and what defines their distinct approaches?
Well, what's immediately clear is that this isn't some monolithic conflict. It's a clash of very distinct entities, each with its own methods. At the very core, you have the Godmothers Network. This is an incredibly skilled, highly adaptable, and almost, well, ghost-like organization. Led by Rita Rickson, known as Godmother, their whole operational philosophy is rooted in extreme precision and an unshakable, almost sacred sense of loyalty, especially to family.
And family here is so much more than just blood relatives, isn't it? It feels like a deliberate operational construct. We see characters like Patrick, who explicitly calls himself Jack's extended brother, and others like Claudia, Jessica, Ray. Each isn't just, a warm body. They have a highly specialized, almost surgical role, crucial to how the network functions. Patrick, for example, he's their master of deep cover surveillance. We see him subtly planting hidden cameras in Jack's apartment, turning a private space into an intelligence gold mine.
Right. And Claudia has these incredibly sharp observational skills, like spotting that suspicious SUV at the diner that, frankly, anyone else would miss. And then there's the enigmatic Richard Shield, the Shielded Crown. He provides critical, often unsolicited intel and support. He even saved Godmother from police custody without being asked. That's not just loyalty, it shows a deep, pre-existing strategic alliance, an understanding of the network's needs beyond explicit orders.
It really shows a level of independent, yet perfectly aligned action. That adaptability and the layered sense of family must be what make their network so resilient.
Exactly. It's less a rigid hierarchy and more a dynamic, interconnected organism. But then, in stark contrast, you have Slavik's organization. They're consistently referred to as the Russian Mafia. They represent a completely different operational paradigm. Brutal, direct, overtly intimidating.
Much less subtle.
Much less. Their hierarchy includes Sergej as a key lieutenant and enforcers like Vlad and Ivan, who are willing to use extreme violence without hesitation. Their motivations often seem to stem from deep-seated personal vendettas, like Sergej mentions regarding the disappearance of Vlad and Ivan. It hints at a darker, more primitive sense of loyalty compared to the Godmother's tactical precision.
And trying to navigate or maybe even control this whole brutal dance is the FBI. Agents like Anthony Martin and Vern, they represent this higher federal intelligence presence that seems to operate on its own hidden agenda. They swoop in when local authorities like Detective Willstrom and A.D. Thompson get too close to the truth.
Declaring cases classified, right?
Yeah, just like that. Take it all over. This isn't just simple jurisdiction. It perfectly illustrates a higher level of authority observing and strategically intervening in these covert conflicts. It really demonstrates the multiple, often conflicting tiers of power that define how this world functions. Suggests there's a grand chessboard with many players, some visible, some not, and even official agencies aren't always what they seem.
What's truly fascinating here and absolutely central to understanding Nexus is that the primary battleground isn't physical conflict. It's information asymmetry. These groups aren't just hiding. They are actively weaponizing misdirection and perception management. It's a silent war because the most decisive blows are psychological, shaping reality for their enemies even before a single punch is thrown. That's how they operate day to day.
That's a crucial point. And Rita's initial arrest immediately springs to mind as like the ultimate illustration of that very principle. It was entirely staged, wasn't it?
Completely. She used pig blood in her truck to fit a gory crime scene and the police officers. They were hit with tranquilizers, not bullets. She wasn't escaping custody. She was orchestrating her re-entry into the operative world.
So it wasn't just a diversion, it was like a calculated theater.
Exactly. Designed to manipulate official investigations, create a false narrative about her status, and effectively vanish from the public eye, allowing her to operate freely and set up a new operational base without suspicion. It's all about controlling the narrative from the outset. That's a core function of this world.
And this raises an important, almost philosophical question about how truth itself functions in this world. How much of what anyone believes they know is real, and how much is a carefully constructed narrative?
Well, Rita herself later tells Detective Wilstrom that she made up what she told me during the psych eval. She emphasizes that whatever he thinks he knows about her is incomplete. This isn't just about lying. It highlights the constant layers of misinformation, the deliberate creation of incomplete realities. It makes it incredibly difficult for anyone, even trained investigators, to discern objective truth. This systematic obfuscation is fundamental to how Nexus functions.
The operatives themselves are masters of elaborate cover, right? To blend in and execute their missions. Patrick's drunk couple routine with Claudia to infiltrate Slavic space. That's a perfect example. Blending in through misdirection, using a common social scenario to become invisible.
Or the hidden communications, like Patrick's use of that single dot logo on an app for tracking, or coded messages like Operation Frisk. These aren't just one-off tricks, they're standard operating procedures. Sophisticated layers of encryption and subterfuge designed to keep their entire existence off the radar.
And this pervasive manipulation, it extends even to seemingly minor details, like William's betrayal of Jack.
Yeah, that wasn't just personal failure. It's revealed to be an orchestrated event. William was forced to destabilize Jack, losing his own company in the process, all to serve the larger goals of Slavic's organization. What stands out there is how personal relationships and business dealings are not immune. They are actively weaponized.
Weaponized. Used as leverage and tools within this larger unseen conflict.
Precisely. It transforms every interaction into a potential vector for manipulation, making trust a fatal vulnerability in this kind of world.
So if this world operates on such deep-seated manipulation where personal relationships can be exploited, what's the cost? What's the cost of living like that for the individuals caught within its hidden currents? How do their personal actions ripple through this silent war?
Well, it's a world where every action, no matter how seemingly isolated, triggers a chain reaction.
Yeah.
A huge one. Jack's initial act of killing Oscar, who was both a pedophile and, unbeknownst to Jack, an accountant for Slavic's organization. That's the absolute genesis of all the problems. This single event, even if you argue it was morally justifiable, directly draws the Rickson name, and by extension, Godmother's entire network into this deep and dangerous conflict that ultimately exposes them.
It's a potent example of how an individual's personal moral choice can unwittingly unleash, well, a geopolitical scale hidden war.
And then there's the Godmother aspect, which is just staggering.
This next part blew me away, frankly. Godmother, Jack's own mother, knew about Oscar's death almost immediately. Yet instead of intervening directly, she decided to operate from the shadows. She let the Russian mafia extract their most horrific punishment on Jack's social world. His company collapsing, neighbors turning against him, all of it.
All in the hope that it would force him to realize the gravity of the problem and the true nature of their world.
This level of tough love, or maybe extreme manipulation, it's astonishing. And it feels like a key part of how the world of Nexus functions. Pain as a teacher. A crucible for understanding.
Her decision illustrates a core, albeit brutal, principle of this world. Consequences are often allowed to play out naturally, even if incredibly painful. The goal is to achieve a larger strategic objective, or maybe just to awaken an individual to the harsh realities of this hidden conflict. It's about forging resilience and understanding through suffering. In Nexus, ignorance isn't bliss, it's deadly. This harsh pedagogy forces a fundamental shift in perception, almost a baptism by fire into the true nature of their reality.
And the constant threat to family, whether real or perceived, is a consistent and powerful motivator for everyone involved, isn't it?
Absolutely, for all sides. It drives individuals and organizations to extreme measures. It's not just about winning. It's about survival and protecting one's lineage at all costs, even if it means orchestrating immense personal suffering for those you love. That seems to be an accepted operational cost.
Okay, so a world this complex, with such high stakes and multi-layered conflicts, must rely on some serious tech and resources to operate effectively. It's not just about manpower, it's about the tools of the trade, the very infrastructure that enables this silent war. What kind of arsenal are we talking about here? How does that function?
Absolutely. Security isn't just an afterthought, it's woven into the fabric of daily life. It has to be. Jack's apartment building, for instance, isn't just a regular building. It's basically a fortress. It boasts fingerprint recognition on the door handle, steel passageways designed to withstand explosives, and even a gas defense system.
A gas defense system.
Yeah.
Wow.
It reflects a fundamental defensive philosophy. Every safe haven must be impenetrable. And operatives like Patrick and Claudia, they wear specialized body armor woven directly into their everyday clothes, capable of stopping high-caliber rounds, as we see demonstrated seamlessly in that tailoring shop in Berlin. This isn't flashy tech. It's the quiet integration of defense into domesticity, turning ordinary people into walking fortresses.
And this pervasive, almost invisible security extends to constant surveillance, right? There are hidden cameras everywhere, GPS trackers, even drones like the one Jack pilots for diversion during that warehouse assault.
That pervasive digital omnipresence, yeah. It allows for real-time intelligence gathering and tactical pivots, turning every environment into a potential surveillance grid. And their sophisticated encrypted communication isn't just for secrecy, it enables instantaneous global coordination.
So things like hidden phones, walkie-talkies for field ops, encrypted networks.
Exactly. It transforms individual operatives into a seamlessly integrated, high-reactivity force, a true reflection of how modern covert operations function. And it's clear these organizations have vast logistical networks, private jets for rapid deployment, safe houses for regrouping, and medical attention.
And even controlled funeral homes to burn bodies without a trace, ensuring untraceability. That's dark.
Very. It shows the lengths they go to maintain secrecy. Now, the interaction between these factions, it isn't always a direct clash. It's more a nuanced dance of feints, intelligence gathering, and calculated strikes. This dynamic interplay is fundamental to how the silent war operates. Less brute force confrontation, more strategic chess.
We see moments where diplomacy is attempted, like Godmother offering Ivan that $50 million for peace regarding Jack. But he foolishly refuses, which maybe indicates deeper loyalties or fears, right? It's a fascinating insight into the failure of traditional negotiation in this world.
It absolutely is. And then, almost immediately, brute force takes over. With methods like torture Serge's brutal interrogation of Freely and assassinations, like Godmother killing Vlad, it's a world where negotiations can turn deadly in an instant, where the rule of law is just, superseded by the law of the jungle. Consequences are swift and absolute.
And this leads us to maybe the most intriguing layer of all, these hints of an even deeper, more elusive power at play.
Yeah, suggesting multiple layers of manipulation beyond the immediate players we see. Slavic claims to be the ghost, the ultimate mastermind. But Godmother dismisses him as a mere pawn.
A pawn. So who's the real player?
Well, the text suggests the true ghost might actually be Vera, Slavic's second-in-command. She apparently orchestrated the attack on Godmother's team, and seems to view Slavic as merely serving his purpose before, well, being eliminated himself.
So a hidden puppet master directing events, a true hierarchy of unseen control.
It certainly looks that way. It suggests that Nexus is a world defined by its deep, interlocking layers of control and manipulation. The ultimate mastermind remains largely unseen, or at least misidentified. The FBI's relentless pursuit of Godmother for her classified history. Richard Shield's own independent yet allied operations. They further complicate this web.
Everyone seems to have a secret agenda or a higher authority pulling their strings, constantly shifting the battlefield and ensuring nothing is ever truly what it seems. It creates this really unstable equilibrium, doesn't it? Where alliances are fluid, information is weaponized, and ultimate authority remains frustratingly elusive.
That instability is the operational environment.
It's abundantly clear, then, that the world of Nexus, the silent war, is this relentless, multi-layered arena where information isn't just currency, it's the most dangerous weapon. Loyalty is constantly tested, and every action, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, can trigger massive, unforeseen consequences that ripple through this hidden world.
It's a world where peace is, well, fleeting at best, and the lines between right and wrong are constantly blurred by the sheer necessity of survival. Even the deepest-seated family ties, which, we might view as sacrosanct, can become part of the grand strategy, influencing the very fate of individuals. It really challenges our conventional understanding of morality and consequence.
And perhaps the most unsettling aspect, for me anyway, is the realization that in this silent war, the true enemy might not be the one you see, or even the one you suspect, but the one operating just beyond your perception, pulling strings you can't even fathom. What stands out to you about this complex hidden world, and what does it make you question about the layers of reality we all inhabit?